So starting in the foot, plantar fasciitis, like very common for runners. Like what exactly is happening there in the foot, and what, in your opinion, what is the most common cause of problems with plantar fasciitis?
Okay, when you say plantar, sorry, this is where it all gets. The beginning of wisdom is the definition of terms. So we're talking about plantar heel pain, because most plantar heel pain that I come across is not plantar fasciitis. The doctor, your GP might say, "Oh, that's plantar fasciitis." It's plantar heel pain, and then we have to figure out what's causing the heel pain. And the latest studies are showing that it's actually dysfunctional toe muscles, because the toe tendons, the muscles are in the foot and up into the lower leg, and again, if your toes are immobilized and fixed into a certain position, they can't work properly. They end up becoming sort of short, tight, and weak, and that's how they start producing pain. So if people are fixing their plantar fasciitis by rolling on a golf ball, which people do fix their pain like that, it's normally, in my experience, because they're starting to massage those damaged muscles, and they're starting to heal again. So plantar heel pain, in my experience, is normally toe muscle dysfunction and or a very tight Achilles or an ankle equinus, because the ankle joint is so tight, and then you get unnatural movements occurring. So yeah, but 8 times out of 10, I would go for toe muscles.
Toe muscles. Okay, so
being weak and tight and dysfunctional. Yeah. Okay,
so how do we go about that? So someone they're experiencing pain in the bottom of their foot. First off, you need to. Where's the source there? And I think you hit it there, because sometimes it's not what they think it is. I think we kind of threw plantar fasciitis as this kind of common thing that people they like to say they have a problem with it when they experience pain in the bottom of their foot. All right, so your first thing is, let's dissect exactly what's going on there. Like, where is the pain?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that right? And then, commonly, again, we're talking very general terms here. What is the most common? So you're saying we want to have stronger toes.
Stronger,
someone hearing that,
flexible. Yeah, that's. For example, if you go to the Joe Nimble website, you'll see all the toga exercises, because that's obviously what we're about. But yeah, those simple daily toe exercises, and I'm talking about modifications of like doing heel raises, but making sure you're actually engaging the toes, particularly the big toe, has incredible healing effects and preventative effects for plantar heel pain.
I think you nailed it there too, preventative. I think someone who is experiencing a sharp pain in the bottom of their foot right now, and you're telling them to do heel raises, they're going to say, "Screw you, Lee."
Obviously you would. It has to be intelligently applied, but I'm saying you would start with mobilizing the toes, doing stuff without body weight, etc. But if you start, the problem is with the diagnosis, it can just give you tunnel vision, and you think that is what the issue is, and then all the therapies and modalities are just focused on this one aspect of it. I can only tell you from my experience, and it may surprise you, maybe it won't, that a lot of people that transition to barefoot running get plantar fasciitis, even though it's supposed to cure that, right? And that's because it's like having your arm in a plaster cast and then suddenly doing 100 push-ups. You're going to get delayed onset muscle soreness, right?
And transitioning into more functional footwear is definitely something I want to talk about. But moving our way, you mentioned the Achilles there when you were talking about the plantar fasciitis. What exactly? Where is plantar fasciitis and Achilles start in the foot? And then that's a very common. You have people say they have problems with their Achilles, whether their Achilles heel, Achilles tendon, due to running. Why? So first off, where are the differences there between plantar fasciitis and Achilles problems, And how do you go about dealing with those in general terms?
In fact, with those two diagnoses, I still apply the same interventions, because if there's the short intrinsic foot muscles that are quite trendy to talk about, the intrinsic muscles, and people are doing their doming and they're important, but then we have these long toe flexors, the flexor digitorum longus and the long big toe flexor. And you can see, you know, these two little bones here, the sesamoids. This is what actually Sebastian, from Joe Nimble, what he damaged, right? These two sesamoid bones. Now, I don't know if you know much about sesamoid bones, but the one that everyone's more familiar with is the kneecap, the patella. That's the biggest sesamoid bone in your body. And they are always located in areas of the body where you need a lot of strength and stability. It's like where you need power, you'll find a sesamoid bone. So that tells you you've got two here, and the tendon goes between it. Is because that big toe muscle at the end of the push-off phase of running is supposed to do all the work. So if it isn't, that means that your plantar flexors have to do more work. Yeah. So how many steps are you taking in a 100-mile race? I don't know. We can work it out, but it's you can imagine how many thousands of times you're trying to push off the ground and you're not using all the muscles. You're going to overload the plantar flexors, and again, if it's the soleus or the gastrocnemius, you're going to end up with Achilles pain. So again, I know it sounds too simple, but in my experience, it's about strong, flexible toes. Mother Nature's a good engineer. We have them there for a reason. They're supposed to engage with the ground and get involved with push-off.